What is something unrealistic that you often see in movies that annoys the hell out of you? The beatings people take and how quickly they get up from devastating blows. Or when someone is knocked unconscious and remains so for hours to days and is totally fine. If you are straight knocked the F out for an hour and then wake up, you aren't just gonna shake the cobwebs out and get back to taking down an entire mob family. You are fucked up. I'm really bothered by Batman's cavalier attitude towards head injuries. Someday some hench thug's gonna get a subdural hematoma and then so much for his don't kill anyone thing. When people slice the palm of their hand open for a drop of blood. That shit will take forever to heal. Just prick your finger, damn. Looking at you, supernatural. Paper cuts hurt like hell and you went and sliced your palm. Well, looks like you are out of action and cradling your arm/hand to your chest for the rest of the film. No. Geez, I scraped my palm up bad one time. Like there was no skin and got road burn. I couldn't flex it for a long time. I cringe at those cuts and then they open and shut their hands like no problem. People taking their eyes off the road for like 5 seconds. They always turn themselves completely around to talk to people in the backseat or beside them as if they couldn't hear each other otherwise. I genuinely had a friend that would do that. You'd ask him a question and he's completely look at you. It was fucking terrifying. You'd be sitting in the backseat and he'd be driving on the interstate just staring at you. Look up front, Brian. And that they remove the headrests from the cars so you can see the actors better and they can talk to each other more easily. Hollywood, we spend a lot of time in cars ourselves. We know that they're supposed to have headrests. How mature the high school students look. Have you ever looked at a high school yearbook? When I was in elementary school I was so excited to be a high schooler because I would look so grown up and mature. Fuck you Disney Channel for lying to me. Just watch an episode of Glee. The freshmen are obviously in their 20s and 30s. Grease would like to have a word. Immediate DNA results. Somebody writing flawless code in 60 seconds. Most hackers in films even hack into highly secured government websites within seconds. Heck. I'm in. I can't remember which movie/show it was in, but they dusted the keyboard for fingerprints and got the login and password from that. Most amazing hacking I have seen. Yeah, they always skip the 5 hours of compile failed. Expected. Oh, duh. Let's run that again. Compile failed. Variable X not recognized. Ah shit, I forgot to initialize that. 1 second. Fatal error. Null pointer exception. God damn it. Fuck yeah, it compiled. Output. 2 + 2 = 5. Motherfucker. Need a guy out of plot for a little while. Why not just hit him on the head really hard? Yeah, he'll probably just have a nap and a 10-second headache when he wakes up. Sorry, John was unconscious for a full minute and now is a vegetable. There is obviously no coffee in the cup. Orders coffee, immediately takes huge ass sip. Dude, let that shit cool off a minute. I used to think that was fake too. But my wife actually does that. We pour 2 cups of coffee in the morning. While I'm blowing and sipping to cool that shit down, she has finished her first cup and poured her second. It is freaky. Fuckers who yank out their fourths tugged on mine once and I fucking cried. I remember waking up from a surgery and trying to do this when I was a kid because I was groggy and scared and the pain was so bad I threw up on myself. You were a much braver kid than I was. I got an fourth as a child and nurse said try not to move too much. So I laid there like a statue for hours, not even talking, thinking something bad will happen if I move. People with long hair, often women, fighting with their hair down. I can't even eat noodle soup with my hair down, never mind doing anything remotely physical. Working as a waitress or some other near minimum wage/poverty wage job and having excessive time off and money and things like huge houses. This exact thing, the single mom waitress in a 3,000 square foot apartment with a 2-year-old car and an amazing haircut. People googling exactly what's happening to them and getting the answers they're looking for. Happens a lot in scary movies. A house is being haunted by the ghost of a tall man, and the owners Google tall man ghost and find exactly the article that explains who the ghost is and what happened to him. If nothing else, they should get a thread talking about it with no answers. Yeah, there's this guy with no face who keeps ringing my doorbell every night. Any idea what's going on with that? Bob -20 to 10 the 1st of May 2013. Ask him what he wants and let us know. Stan -1430 the 2nd of May 2013. Okay. BRB. Bob -2206 the 2nd of May 2013. Find out anything. Stan -1224 the 4th of May 2013. Stan -1920 the 6th of August 2013. Anything. Stan -1403 the 3rd of May 2015. Or the old classic of deleted. Hello man, that solves the mystery perfectly. Thank you. The food. The poor, long-suffering food. No one eats it. No one enjoys it. People go to restaurants primarily to order something, have it arrive, and then have an argument and storm out. And X200B. Eater. Now already in this comment thread many times. 1. Food is a nightmare to shoot for continuity / quality / actors getting full reasons. 2. Yes, we all hate the someone cooks an epic breakfast and someone else just runs through and grabs a piece of toast scene. And it's always toast. And what psychopath eats a whole piece of dry toast without anything to wash it down? 3. Yes, Brad Pitt eats. And Chris Pratt. Bad guy receives a mortal wound like a point blank gunshot to the torso or deep knife wound and just lays there bleeding profusely for a minute with the protagonist immediately forgetting about them, then is able to somehow stand up and have like an 8-round boxing match with the protagonist before finally being finished off. In addition to that, I hate it when the protagonist gets the upper hand, but then they just bolt. Like the girl manages to hit the serial killer on the head with a crowbar. Then she drops the crowbar and runs away, only for the serial killer to get up and chase after her. If I was in that situation and I managed to knock out the bad guy, I wouldn't stop hitting him until he is most definitely dead. Exactly. It's fight or flight. Not the fight then flight. Would expand that to fatally injured characters in general or getting the power to teleport when not on screen. The standard car flips over 5 times and catches on fire, and every single fucking time, Vin Diesel walks out unscathed. Worse still because he's not even been cast in the film. No cleanup after sex. Or before. Or, after a raunchy night of 6, wake up dressed in either underwear or pyjamas / night shirt, and with perfect makeup. Silencers do not mute the gun. It only makes the sound more tolerable. The scene in John Wick 2 where John and Cassian are sneakily shooting at each other with silenced pistols in the middle of a crowded subway terminal is so fucking stupid, and I love it. Never saying goodbye, or equivalent, when finishing a phone call, they just hang up. Also, making plans with someone without specifying the time and or place. Him. Can I take you out for dinner tonight? Her. Sure, pick me up a date. Him a date. I really should have asked for her number, or her address, or name, or... There's an SNL sketch about that. How it takes less than a week to develop a vaccine for a global pandemic, and by a brilliant scientist who was kicked out of their institution for being too radical. And it's one scientist who comes up with the final solution, that they of course inject themselves with it first, and have their results instantly. That's not how science works. And that's definitely not what testing a vaccine looks like. Edit. OMG y'all. I get that it has happened before, but it isn't common, especially in modern times. Whenever someone is working on a vehicle they are quite often using a pipe wrench, or huge crescent wrench. Neither are going to get you too far working on a vehicle. And no matter what job they're supposedly doing, it requires sliding under the car on a creeper directly in the middle, so the viewers only see their legs at first when the other characters come in and start talking to them. Constantly turning ratchets, but never producing any bolts or old parts to show for it. Rom-coms. Not just explaining their motives or actions. Action/thriller. Not lying when they have a gun to their head. It's always say nothing, or the truth in an interrogation scene. Women shipwrecked wearing sleeveless tops, and not having underarm hair. Apocalypse movies too. Smooth pits all around. We need food, water, medicine, and razors or else we'll never make it. Next time you see two characters having a conversation in the front of a car, pay attention to the rear view mirror. More often than not, it's been removed for a cleaner shot of the characters. Headrests on the front seats too. Courtroom confessions, but also just courtroom scenes in general. First, nobody confesses to a crime while on the witness stand at somebody else's trial. Nobody. Second, have you been to court? It's 97% waiting around, 2% wondering if you have time to go to the bathroom, and 1% anything to do with you or your case. Heroes never reloading their weapons. I need information from this computer. Tech guy runs over and starts hammering wildly on the keyboard I'm in. The keyboard is plugged into his box and the OS is Windows 2000. Scene that immediately comes to mind is two idiots one keyboard link. Blows to the head knocking someone out for exactly as long as is convenient for the plot with no long-term consequences whatsoever. Even otherwise realistic shows and movies are guilty of this. In reality, an blow to the head strong enough to knock you out is likely to cause brain damage or even death. Another variant is the perfect amnesia. You don't know who you are or what happened, but otherwise you are just fine. There's a movie I can't remember now that pokes fun at this. The guy's just like, ow, why would you do that? Just tie me up, do you know the damage you could cause? Or something along those lines. Wish I could remember the movie. Gunshot to the leg and they can still walk. One to the lungs, and they're breathing fine. One in the heart, and they either die instantly or spend a whole minute talking. It is 10 to 20 seconds, not 6 minutes.